This is News 6 Tonight.
Hey, welcome to News 6 Tonight. I hope Labor Day weekend is upon you.
Mhm.
It is nearly
It is upon
us.
us.
It's upon them.
Yeah.
It's not
I mean,
upon
we're
us.
just
We have to
still
finish up the
laboring.
evening.
Yes.
But it's here, and it should be an interesting, soggy weekend if you're making plans.
Yeah, you might be dodging some showers. I know a lot of people always head out to the beach, of course, but it could be a little soggy out
Yeah, it
there.
might not
Yeah.
be the best, but there will be times when it's not,
Mhm.
and the temperatures won't be terrible.
Apparently early morning, like go at 7 a.m. That's a good time to,
Yeah, 7 a.m. Get up at 7
hit the
a.m. on your
water.
holiday weekend. We are going to check in with our meteorologist, Michelle Morgan. She's going to detail how the weekend's going to shape out. How the week is ending, though, is with a really creepy story, especially if you're a dad like me who has a college kid
Or a woman like me.
or a woman like you. Pretty much anybody might be creeped out by this. You're right. That was probably a bad thing to say.
Yeah.
So a young woman is at the library at UCF. She is
Yes.
studying, and she looks over and she notices that there's this guy who appears to be recording her with his cell phone. And according to the report, this young lady is a boss. She does exactly what you would hope your daughter would do. She walks over to the guy, she confronts him, says, "Show me your phone." And his response is so strange, Lisa.
It is very strange.
In all of my years of doing news, I've never heard somebody say anything like this. He says, "Ma'am, it's my job."
Correct.
That's
He's
the reason I
taking
did it.
these inappropriate videos, allegedly, and somehow selling them to people to make money. So
Online.
in his mind, it's okay because he's not doing it. In his mind, it sounds like to be gross.
Yeah,
He's doing
not a
it just
creep.
to make money.
I'm just doing this.
So
as
it's all good. So you should
messing with
be
my
you
side
should be
hustle.
cool with it, lady.
And he says to her, he tries to make a deal. He's like, "Look, I'll delete yours and we'll just say Mazel Tov. We're
This
all
is
good here."
shocking
It's
on
so
so
crazy,
many
right?
levels. And thank goodness she saw what was happening, confronted him, because who knows how many other victims might be out there,
This is true.
right?
Yeah, it is fascinating. Just the whole black market of
Right.
this thing is interesting.
And that would be nice if they could track down, who's buying this stuff.
That would be nice. I would
Mhm.
like to see this escalate.
Yes.
Our community correspondent, Mike Valenti, covered this very strange story today.
The victim telling police that she was on the 5th floor studying when she noticed a cell phone camera pointing directly up her skirt.
It's disgusting behavior. I think it's scary.
UCF police say that after the victim noticed what was happening, she demanded to see Yun Soo Lee's phone. Police say the 23-year-old defendant tried to hide it, but she was able to see herself on his phone.
It's surprising that happened in the library, because I feel like that's probably one of the safer areas.
A criminal complaint alleges that Lee told a witness that taking videos was his, quote, job, and that there are entire communities for these kinds of videos.
It's awful for him to say it's his job too and try and validate things.
The witness told police that Lee deleted the video, but that Lee said he sells photographs and videos of women.
You're going to have to find somewhere else to study, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he can't go back to the library. That 23-year-old's charged with video voyeurism and tampering with evidence because he deleted the video intentionally. But the strange thing about this, so the guy claims there are these whole online
Yes.
communities where guys are trading and buying pictures.
I hadn't heard of that before.
I
We
had no
cover
idea.
a lot of people who are accused, arrested for shooting these sort of videos, but it always seems like it's for their own personal viewing. But the fact that there appears to be websites, you would hope that investigators would be able to track that down. Where are they coming from? Who's buying them? And put a stop to that.
It just makes you wonder how many people are out
Yeah.
there doing
Yeah.
this.
It's crazy. All right. Another story that hits a lot of people close to home. We got new numbers from Orange County Public Schools talking about declining enrollment. And this has been an ongoing issue for a couple of years now, but they were projecting to have 3,000 fewer students this year. Instead, it looks like there's closer to 7,000 fewer
What a
students.
discrepancy.
That is a big discrepancy. It's also millions of dollars. That's the difference. We're talking $25 million. Our Angie Casada is covering this for us. Here's her report from earlier.
District leaders say they plan for about 3,000 fewer students this year, but the actual drop is more than double that, nearly 7,000 students. And that could lead to an extra $25 million in budget cuts.
We are already collaborating with schools to make sure no school is cut more than necessary.
District data shows about 3,000 of those missing students come from immigrant families.
To see them afraid and leaving is heartbreaking.
As a school board, we need to really be focused on the academics, making sure that we're doing everything that we can.
And it comes as Florida's school voucher program continues to grow, taking money out of the school district.
We are only in the first 2 weeks of school, and we won't really have final numbers until October. So we are continuing to monitor what's happening.
So anyone who has worked with me for 5 minutes here at News 6 knows that I'm very passionate about this issue. And it's not just Orange County Public Schools. It's really every school you could probably argue in the country that's seeing kind of declining enrollment. And it's for a variety of reasons. And I think that at the end of the day, we need strong schools in our communities. A lot of times that's the anchor of a neighborhood. And when you have a strong school, it just brings people together, and strong neighborhoods help reduce crime and all the
People
things.
grow up to do good things, and open
Increase property
businesses.
values, yes. And I can tell you that there are a variety of reasons, and we'll see what the schools ultimately decide to do, because we've already heard from OCPS that they have paused construction on new schools. But now you're in a situation where you have a lot of schools that are sitting pretty empty. And when you have a half full school, that's very expensive to operate. You're still paying for the same amount of maintenance, the same air conditioning bills. So maybe it will get to a point that they start consolidating schools and shutting down schools, which would be, I think, very controversial for a lot of people.
Yeah, I find this issue interesting because
Mm-hmm.
in my neighborhood, so I bought into what was a nice, middle class neighborhood. You've seen my place
Yep.
before. You go in there, it was a ton of young families 20 years ago.
Mhm.
Everybody had kids, all the kids went to school. When we went there were 7 kindergarten classes.
hmm
And now these housing values have gone up so much in my neighborhood that I couldn't have afforded it to come in back when I did. And so like regular middle class families with young kids can't really afford it. So our classes have gone down.
So, and I'm seeing a very different situation.
Mhm.
I live in College Park. I am zoned for College Park Middle School, which is a school that has struggled.
Is that a Title One?
It's a
school?
Title I, and 2 years ago, it was one of only about 4 schools in the district that was a D-rated school. It went from years ago to having more than 1,100 students, and you had like kind of the trailers outside,
Mhm.
to now less than 700 students. And I crunched the numbers, and this was way before we were hearing from the district. And what I discovered is in your A and B middle schools in OCPS, year over year, from May of 2024 to May of 2025, your A and B middle schools actually gained 157 students, but your C and D rated schools lost 1,100 students. So again, I think there are a lot of reasons why people are leaving schools. I think the vouchers is not really why people are leaving in many cases, but it's how they're leaving.
How they're leaving
Because
and
if
why.
you
Yeah.
are stuck in a D-rated school, or a school where you feel like your child's needs are not being met,
Mhm.
you have no choice but to leave.
So what you're saying is the numbers you pulled
Mm-hmm.
prove that people aren't leaving the good schools.
Oh, no.
They are actually adding to the good schools,
Correct.
but the schools that are graded poorly, which
Correct.
makes sense, people are leaving. So maybe Orange County, if they focused on upping the ante at those schools,
That's right.
people wouldn't be leaving as
That's
much.
right.
Is
And
that
the K through
theory?
8 schools, which have been models for OCPS and many of their school districts, among the K through 8 schools, they last year are more than 90% full, which is, middle schools last year were 84%. K through 8 schools were 92% full. People want to go to the schools. They didn't lose nearly as many students. Most of them, 9 out of the 10 are A and B schools. The one school that lost the most is one D-rated school, and it lost 135 out of 189 total loss. So because I was like, why are people leaving?
Yeah,
Is
what's
there
happening?
a pattern? And so I think that there are many reasons, but certainly if we can focus our efforts on schools that are struggling, and maybe even we get to a point where we consolidate schools, then maybe we'll start to see some students come back. Because I can tell you, just looking at my own neighborhood, I cannot identify a single person who sends their child to the public middle school that we are zoned for. They'll
Yeah.
send them to the high school or to a A-rated elementary school,
Mhm.
but not to that middle school.
Yeah, interesting.
Yep.
Because I think people genuinely don't want to pay for private school. Why
Absolutely
would
not.
you? They're
Or be
expensive.
inconvenienced and have to drive very far across town to take child to a magnet school or a different school or,
There
public
has to be
school,
something
charter school.
pushing you to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So,
It's an
yeah.
interesting point, and those are good numbers.
Yeah.
That I haven't heard anybody else report on, by the way. So nice work, Lisa Bell. Glad to have you on the show tonight. So let's talk about, Rail Stalker joining us. Good to see you from North Carolina. We're trying to build a North Carolina audience.
I
right
like
there.
it.
Kevin
Lakeland.
Hawthorne in from Lakeland. I like it. Love me some Lakeland. All right. So what do you think about tiny homes? And we have Susie. Hey, she says with us from Nova Scotia. That's
Aw.
Susie Q. What do you think about
District
living
leaders
a
say
tiny
they
home?
plan for about
Oh,
3,000.
hey.
Okay,
Chris
so
jumped the gun on us there.
I love how tiny homes look. I love the idea of a tiny home.
Mhm.
I could not.
If the kids were out of the house, obviously you couldn't do it right now. but
Okay.
you're an
Yes, I
empty
could do
nester.
it by myself, even with my husband. 100%.
So we have an affordable housing crisis in the
Yes.
state of Florida. We have covered it to no end. It is well documented. Well, tiny homes could be a solution to that problem. Most communities, most counties don't like them. They kind of put them in the realm of trailer parks, even though we do have a lot of trailer parks around here. They don't seem to want to add them. Well, DeLand is actually considering this a tiny home community. Our community correspondent Molly Reed's taking a look at this issue.
DeLand is looking to expand its options for people who either can't afford a house or those who would rather just live minimally. Now, on average, tiny homes can cost anywhere from about $50,000 to $300,000. Part of the city's work right now is drafting the rules if this gets through.
We've looked at kind of a slightly different variation on either townhouses or condos in kind of a village format.
They would likely have to be on a permanent foundation, not on wheels, and they typically can be anywhere from 200 to 600 square feet. The neighborhood center in DeLand also sees this as an opening to help more people. The center helps people experiencing homelessness and works to prevent it.
It would allow us to actually develop an area behind our bridge shelter to put transitional housing.
They're looking to use shipping containers to make a small, tiny home community right next to the center.
So we have so many people right now who are camping out
Yes.
on land that they don't
Yeah.
own because they can't afford to rent a place right now. It is a monumental issue. I'm not saying tiny homes are the answer.
It's one solution. It's going to take a
Yes,
lot of
right.
different
It's not
pieces
gonna
to
be one
solve
thing.
this puzzle. But I can't imagine spending $300,000 on a tiny home. I mean, I would want a big piece of property, waterfront property, for
You look at,
Doesn't
I
that
know you
seem a
look at
little
Zillow.
high? 300,000
think
for a
that's one of-
tiny home?
Yeah, that does seem high. I agree. I think you can get much cheaper ones. 150.
She said 50 to
It
300,000.
was a big range
yeah.
in there. If you want to get the bells and whistles and the marble,
Mhm.
maybe you're 300,000. I'm thinking, but if we're affordable
That's-
housing,
yeah.
that's what we're looking for. But these all will have to meet Florida building codes for plumbing and
Right.
electrical. She said 200 to 600 square feet. 200 square feet is teeny tiny.
That's not a lot of space, but I love the idea of being a minimalist. You don't
Exactly.
need a lot of stuff.
Get rid of all the crap.
Yes, you have 2 plates, 2 cups. It's more than you need, but you have an extra in case yours breaks,
Yeah, if
you
you have
know?
company, maybe have an extra.
I
But yeah,
love it.
it's interesting stuff, and we'll track how that something has to give with this affordable housing.
It is
crisis.
stunning because year after year we see prices going up. Who knows by how much? 5%, 10% more, but wages don't seem to be going up that much.
This is true. Not enough.
No.
That's for sure. All right, look, we're going to talk about robot bunnies after the break.
I love
This
this.
is
We
such
need
a
more of
cool
those.
story.
Yeah.
Yes, bunnies taking out pythons. We'll be right back in a minute. Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart. Also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down
Oh my
below.
gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh.
Welcome back. Matt, as you know, year after year, we cover pythons in South Florida. There's an annual python hunt. It's nasty. These are invasive species, so all the snake lovers out there don't need to send their hate mail. They are decimating wildlife populations in the state of Florida. But now there may be another solution to this, and it's in
And
the
it's
form.
fun.
It's very fun. It's in the form of a robotic rabbit. So I think we have a picture that we would like to share. These are not just your typical robot,
You can
right?
see the
Oh,
picture
you
right
can
there,
see it
but
up
I
there.
think we have a
Okay.
soundbite.
Okay, let's go ahead and listen to the soundbite.
The Burmese python has decimated a lot of our native wildlife in the Everglades. In Everglades National Park, we're up to 95% reduction of fur-bearing animals in Everglades National Park, and that problem has radiated out into the surrounding natural areas.
So they are now using these rabbits. There's a closer picture right there. They are retrofitted to emit heat. They smell like a real rabbit, and they make natural movements to mimic a real rabbit. And they are apparently luring these pythons out because
Do they say it's working?
I
That's-
think
I don't think
I don't
that's-
know how many that they have actually lured
Is
out.
that going to trick a python?
The total cost per robot rabbit reportedly is $4,000.
Was it 4 or 40?
I thought
Is it-
4,000.
yeah, well,
I can't imagine
we
each
said it's a ridiculous number. whatever
each
it is.
rabbit is 40 grand.
Yeah, it has warmth that it exudes and a smell.
Yes. So, whatever it takes, right? If it's going to come down to those robot rabbits to save the Everglades and to save our panthers.
Mm-hmm.
And, we've seen pictures of these pythons eating an entire deer.
Yeah,
whole.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Would you ever go on a python hunt?
I would do it. I've actually tried to set it up for a story before.
And?
It's just a bit of a trek. I have a guy who's willing to take me, and he's super cool and interesting. It's hard to get down there. It's a 3-hour drive,
I love how they're working so hard, though, to come up with these creative ideas to try and track these pythons and lure them. I mean, we've seen them, they've got the male snake that they'll put a tracker on who goes to find a little mate.
Males, you want to find the females.
Right,
because
who's got all the eggs.
Hundreds of eggs they
Yes.
have inside of them. So apparently you can release a male with a chip,
Mhm.
and those males,
They'll find the
they
females.
can find the big ladies out there in the jungle, and they'll lead you right to them. But
Yeah.
apparently that's not working well enough, so now they have
It's hard to keep
robot
up when they're laying 100 eggs a pop.
Yeah.
Or
this is
more.
true.
Yeah.
I know. And 95% reduction in furry animals.
That's
out in
awful.
the Everglades.
Yeah.
That is truly messed up. All right. Well, we want to get a check of that weather. I know your Labor Day weekend is here.
Do you have big outdoor plans? Are you going to be grilling?
I do want to grill this
Yeah.
weekend. I want some meat sweats this weekend. That's
Ew,
part
I
of
don't know
my
about
goal.
that.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I need to
You
get
might sweat anyways. It's so hot out there.
It's actually not going to be as hot, though. Meteorologist Michelle Morgan, you were telling us temperatures won't be as bad, but that's because it's going to be rainy, right?
That's right. And also the cloud cover. So all of those components, you have the scattered rain, you have the cloud cover. It shouldn't be too awful outside, so we won't be baking. So if you have any outdoor plans, at least the first half of the day will be fine. So nice
Okay.
and dry.
Yeah,
That's good.
we'll take that.
But then the latter half of the day when football is on, I'm going to have to just
Yeah.
be sitting on the
Come
couch,
inside.
doing nothing,
Take cover.
watching the
Yeah.
Seminoles get bludgeoned.
Is
by
that your
Alabama.
prediction?
I don't feel good. about it
Bludgeoned?
at all.
That's a strong word.
That is a strong word.
Yeah, that's pretty aggressive.
My apologies.
You
I'm not
have
coming
no
in.
faith.
It was a rough season last
yeah.
season for the Knowles. So Michelle, if people are going to want to do stuff, like I know my little one's going to want to play some tennis with me this weekend, we should do it
Yeah.
in the morning. When is the cutoff
Yes.
time? At noon, 2 o'clock?
Noon. I would
Mhm.
say noon.
Is that
Absolutely.
widespread,
And
Michelle? Like, is that we're talking along the coast, along the beaches, inland, everywhere? Where are we talking?
so as we go through tomorrow, I don't think it'll be widespread. So it'll be starting off in the northern half and kind of push itself towards the coastline. So if you're planning a beach day, you're going to have to watch the sky. But I do think things will be widespread on Sunday.
Okay.
Widespread on Sunday. Okay, what are we looking like
Yes.
tonight? Is there? I think we have a look at the radar if we can.
Yeah.
It's kind of clear.
It's kind of clear, just tracking a few light showers here, Matt. It was pretty active earlier this afternoon, heavy rain, a lot of lightning, gusts. up to 40, 50 miles per hour, but things are beginning to settle down, which is what I like to see here. Tracking a few light showers moving across northern Flagler County tonight, heading towards Palm Coast. You may see a few sprinkles momentarily. Things are beginning to clear out along coastal Volusia County, and looking at a stray shower here beginning to pop up here, producing heavy rain, but it looks like it's going to stay south of Oak Hill. Other than that, everything is improving, looks fine, and have a few showers there south of Brevard County, and that's about it. But again, all eyes are on the weekend. So many outdoor plans, indoor plans, whatever you got going on. I think the weather will cooperate for whatever you have going on both Saturday and Sunday. But as we go through Saturday morning, a few isolated showers are possible, but then we're going to have a stream of moisture moving from the Gulf of Mexico. The setup coming up in a bit. And because of that setup, that's going to funnel in that tropical moisture, and that is going to raise rain chances at least after noon, after 1 o'clock. And it could get heavy in a few locations, leading to minor flooding in those low-lying areas. Now, because of the rain, it looks like it is going to keep our temperatures below average. So it is going to be a tolerable day. Keep in mind the humidity is still going to be rather high. So even though I'm forecasting temperatures in the upper 80s, lower 90s in many locations, it could feel like the middle 90s in a lot of locations. So, we keep telling you all the time, make sure you're drinking plenty of water. And if you are just scarfing down water while you're outside, at that point, you're dehydrated. So you want to take sips, especially while you're
Especially if you
outside.
have the meat sweats.
Ugh. Stop saying
You have
meat
to-
sweats.
Just saying.
I don't even know what that is, to be quite honest.
I don't think we want to know,
Be
Michelle.
thankful that you don't know what it is. Lisa knows what it is.
Yeah, it's been a minute though since we've seen so many kind of 80-degree highs across the map. But
Yeah.
I welcome that change.
I welcome that change too. It's a nice break from the intense heat, Lisa. And I'm pulling up a calendar right now, just showing when we were above average, when we were closer to average, and when we were below average. So I would say it's a pretty good mix of being above average and then being in the upper 80s. So we got a little bit of everything, during the month of August. And then hopefully cooler temperatures will be heading our way next month, which September 1st is on Monday. I can't believe how fast it came upon us. But here we go. Clouds and rain forecast, keeping things generally dry through the overnight hours. And then heading into early Saturday morning, may see a few isolated showers, light, and then around 8, 9 could get a few stray showers. But look at this, around noon, we could see a few downpours, again, isolated over parts of Marion County, and then staying over our northern zones around 2, 3 o'clock, and then heading towards the coast around 4 or 5 o'clock. But notice, not widespread rain, on and off in many locations, and that'll continue through majority of the evening, and then beginning to fizzle off heading into early Sunday morning.
All right.
Now,
Michelle Morgan, we are low on time, but if you want to see the
okay.
rest of her forecast, check her out coming up at 10 o'clock right here on News 6 Plus. Michelle, thank you so much for the update. We appreciate you.
We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart. Also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down below.
My gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh. So we're going to leave you with a heroic story. A little 5-year-old boy was drowning in a pool, on the verge of drowning, I should say, when just the right superhero stepped in.
One moment I saw him running around the pool, and the next moment he's being pulled up from the bottom.
He was under the water, and Mom jumped in and got him.
Everything was pretty much bang, bang, bang.
You immediately went into response mode.
My body honestly just moved on its own. I saw it, and by the time I could even put 2 and 2 together, I was already tending to him.
At the time, he wasn't working. He was just enjoying a pool day with his own kids.
As soon as I got there, he was purple in the face, so I knew he instantly needed care. The main thing, especially with kids, is the breathing. Any lapse in breathing, they instantly decline.
Friday, Fearon was honored for saving the 5-year-old's life.
I want to present this life-saving award.
A young boy who will now learn how to swim thanks to a scholarship from the Gunnar Martin Foundation.
That's amazing. I'm really happy for him.
Good
That is
on,
amazing.
Mr.
Yes.
Fearon.
You know, I obviously great story, great outcome, but I love that his kids also were there and saw their dad in action and save another little boy's life.
They're even
That's
more
really
proud
cool.
than we
Yeah.
are tonight. Have yourself a great Labor Day weekend. Thanks for watching.
Good night.